My name is Jessica Clark. I am owner and operator of Willowvale Farm. I am also a willow grower and basket weaver. We grow salad greens and tomatoes for market, and I grow most of the food that we eat year-round. My husband and I, we started this farm about 4 years ago. I've always just been fascinated with the idea of growing my own food, and I really love plants. I love watching them grow, and I love just thinking about the possibilities of what a seed can become. So even when I was younger, growing up in the Bronx, we'd buy those little 6-packs of tomatoes and peppers and things like that, and I would shove them into wherever I could in our front yard and be so happy with whatever came out. And then when I went to college, I was studying botany at the time. The college that I went to had a farm, and at some point a friend suggested that I do a work study there. And that was sort of the moment for me where it went from growing a little bit of food here and there for myself to the idea of growing food for my community, and to have this feeling where, like, if I help in growing this food, then people can be fed, that we can have food to share, which was just really important to me. When people think about a garden, they think lettuces and tomatoes and things like that, but they don't think, when they say to themselves, I'm going to eat a meal, they don't think of like all the different components. So it was really important to me that we have something like chicken so that we can have a source of eggs, and it was really important to me to have a source of starches. And I love growing flower corn. It's like the picture of diversity. It's the picture of the history of the Americas. Corn does bring up a lot of feelings for people, either of love or hate or maybe misinformation, because most people think corn being used in like the industrial complex of being fed to cows, animals that aren't really made to eat corn, and then also all of this corn that's being grown to just turn into high fructose corn syrup. Then people get like a little bit scared of corn, when in reality you can grow corn and feed yourself with it. And I don't spray anything on this corn, and it's honestly like a really important part of my winter diet to me. That's the purpose of corn, to be nourishing to you as a person, and to be not necessarily hard on the earth. I always like to joke that we look really funny at the grocery store, because when we're at the grocery store, we were buying we buy like rice, potato chips, like seltzer, and like bacon. If we didn't go to the grocery store, right, we could live without seltzer and bacon and potato chips. I don't know if I could live without rice, but that's the Filipino in me. I think, except for some pantry staples, we do try to eat the food that we grow. So the meal we're gonna make is sauteed greens and a fried egg over polenta. It's one of the recipes that completely comes from our farm. So I love the fact that I can grow this and like make an entire meal that I grew. And it's so satisfying in the winter time to kind of groggily get the corn off the cob and like do the milling. And it sort of matches how I'm feeling of kind of ramping myself up for the day. Also, I love polenta. We crack some eggs and make little pockets in the kale and onions and pour that in and put the cover on and let that steam through. So usually by that time the polenta's done, the eggs and kale are done, shave some Parmesan on it and eat. I love super comforting, just you want to just take a spoon and just go it's so nice to have this warm hug of a meal.